What happened in AAA? What did they say to you, or what did you work on between that opening day start for you and then coming back?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is like it didn't go the way that you wanted, but there's such a long way to go with it being the first start of the year. So it's just like, don't lose confidence in the things that you do well, and throwing a lot of strikes and attacking the strike zone and kind of fine-tuning little things here and there, but just keep putting the work in, and the results will turn, and just kind of take it day by day.
A lot of times for athletes, like you wouldn't trade away some of your worst games because you learn so many things from them. What are some of the things that you've learned this year from those experiences?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and it's always the bad ones that you look back and you're like, man, I really grew from those. And I think this one at the beginning of the year is kind of the same way. You learn that this game, the season is so long, you don't want to get too high, you don't want to get too low. Like, you can't let a start like that just completely derail you in your season and your confidence. And you use it almost as a way to, be a little tougher. You've gone through a bad start like that, but you know that you can bounce back from it, and you just try to kind of stay in that middle ground. You're never as good as you think you are, and it's never as bad as you think you are. You just kind of keep staying right in the middle.
And it seemed like there was a little uptick in your velocity too. Was that just natural, or was that something, hey, I'm gonna work on mechanics to increase velocity? How did that happen?
It was something I wanted to do in the offseason, and it was a main emphasis of like, all right, let's see if we can kind of get the velocity back to where that I know it can be and try to sustain it all year. So kind of seeing a little bit of it in spring training, and then you get early in the season, and it's like sometimes as a pitcher, as you get going, your body gets used to that stress. You're able to recover a little bit faster, and you kind of see the velos creep up a little bit more. So it's been a good sign, and I'm just trying to maintain it, and as the weather warms up, hopefully it kind of keeps climbing.
Emerson, is there any guys that you're like, yeah, I got that guy, or do you just like they're nameless, faceless hitters, or was there ever a time this year that you struck somebody out that you were like, that one felt good, particularly?
I don't know. They all feel good no matter who's up there. There's great hitters, but like who the guys are in the lineups, and kind of how you want to try to limit damage, or you don't want guys on base in these certain situations. And, when whoever gets in the box, no matter who it is, they can do damage, and they can string together a couple hits. The margin of error is super, super, super small. So you're just trying to go out there and give them your best stuff and execute the best you can.
How tough is it for you when you don't know, all right, who's coming back? Logan's coming back, Bryce is coming back, Kirby's coming back. So obviously that impacts where you're pitching. Are you trying to enjoy every start at this level, going, all right, I might be in AAA at some point, or how do you approach it?
Yeah, I mean, you just enjoy where you're at. It's something we say all the time, just kind of be where your feet are. And, it's really hard to buy into that until you're put in kind of a situation where, you can let a lot of thoughts and things kind of creep around you, get into your head. But none of those thoughts matter. The only thing that matters is, trying to get better and help our team win. And if you're able to eliminate all of that and just kind of enjoy, just take it one day at a time, let's take it one start at a time, and every opportunity I get, I want to give our guys a chance to win. And, I feel like I'm at my best when it's that mindset, and I'm not changing that mindset.
Is there a pitch that any of your battery mates throw that you would say, I wish I had that one? Is there one pitch from whether it's Logan or Luis, anybody that you sort of would love to have?
Yeah, I think it's super cool how Wu can, create the rising effect, like the vertical break on his fastball, especially being from a low slot guy. Right. I'm more of a lower three-quarter guy, and it's like, for me, it's interesting because it's like, if I can kind of get a little bit more of that, I feel like you're taking a good pitch and might be making it a little bit better. So it's cool watching him throw fastballs.
What was the off season for you? Do they give you a homework assignment, so to speak, saying, hey, we want you to work on your velocity, we want you to work on your two seam, or whatever?
Yeah.
Was there an agenda to the off season for you?
Yeah, the biggest thing was, we wanted to start with velocity, and we wanted to start with breaking ball shape. And our strength staff, just the whole high performance staff, does such a great job of understanding who we are as individuals and how we move well. So it's like buying into that program that they give you, and then how can we press the limits of velocity, and how can we throw and practice every breaking ball shape in the off season. Let's practice throwing a downer curveball, a sweeping slider to create feel, and then when you get to spring training, you kind of see how those things interact. And when you get to a situation where it's like, all right, I need to create a little bit more here, you know how to do it. It's not as foreign to you. And so those are the two big things, and you're always tinkering with that.
We're trying to kind of figure out what's the personality of this team. Like you guys won on the road a ton. You had 9 series wins in a row, and just what you guys have been through. It seems like kind of a gritty team, but I mean, how would you describe this team this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's just, a group that just doesn't quit. We're staying in it. We're grinding out at bats. The pitchers are up there grinding out strikes and executing the best that we can. And, I mean, you saw it in Arizona, like, we're down, but then we put together a great inning. And, you're right back in the fight. And I think for us, we just don't quit. We're going to keep fighting you. We're going to keep competing as hard as we can, and we're going to give everything we got when we're out there.
What's the mood in there? We haven't had a chance to get in there yet. Had the day off yesterday, so yeah, road trip didn't go the way anybody wanted. Is there an eagerness to get out there and all right, let's get back, get this taste out of our mouth, or what's the mood in that clubhouse?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just about, like, let's go back and let's just keep competing. Let's keep fighting. I think it's a long season. It's up and down, but it's like, how quickly can we get back on track, and how quickly can we get back out there and just competing and doing everything we can to try to get some wins.
Do you like going on the road, by the way? I mean, I always felt like that there's a little added adversity that I kind of liked, not being at home. Is that you feel like you enjoy that, or you much rather be home?
Yeah, I mean, it's the best pitching here for sure, but I think when you go on the road, there's always different factors into it, and it's kind of a little bit, you like kind of fans cheering against you a little bit as a competitor. Like, it gives you a little bit extra fire, but for me, I've always liked going on the road, and, that's sometimes when you got to play your best. You got to go into a hostile environment or whatever it might be and be able to compete at the highest stakes.
What's been the worst place so far as hostile environments?
I don't know. They're all loud. They really are. They're all loud, and they get behind their guys and they get behind their team. They make it tough on you, but you got to go out there and compete.
Hearing awful things when you're warming up in the bullpen and screaming insults at you and all that.
Oh yeah, it's all there, but I mean that's kind of the fun of it. As a competitor, you gotta like that a little bit. You can't shy away from it. You gotta love being out there. When people are cheering against you, and just do whatever you can to help the team win.
Is there anything you'll do here, because it's a hitter's park? Obviously, it favors a pitcher who might be a little more aggressive in the strike zone as compared to Houston, where you got the Crawford boxes there. You got to be careful. Does that based on where you're playing, does that change your level of aggressiveness or chances you may take?
Right, yeah, I think if you were looking on paper, you would think you would make certain changes, but like when you get out there, you still got to throw your best stuff at the hitters, and you still have to execute the best that you can. And baseball is such a game where you really do have such little control as a pitcher. You can throw a great pitch and it can still get hit for a homer or a hit. So I don't really try to get bought into that. I think if you understand the dimensions of the park and understand what guys like to do, you can make little adjustments, but for me, not too much.
So you're a married guy and you do the shopping. That's quite a bonus there. Why is that? You actually like shopping?
I mean, yeah, I like going to the grocery store. There's something about it that's peaceful. It's just to be able to go in and kind of plan things out. It's all right, this is what we want to do, this is what we want to eat. I'm a huge routine guy, so I almost find myself, buying the same things every week. So it's like knowing what aisles everything's on. It's pretty cool for me.
Now, does word get out? This is where Emerson Hancock shops, and he usually comes around 4:30 on off day. I mean, are people starting to notice you more in public these days?
I've had a couple, but it's great, man. That's this fan base. This fan base is passionate. They love to see their guys out and about, and I love to talk with them whenever we have time.
You ever get mistaken for anybody else? Do they ever come up and say?
George is a big one for me.
Is that right?
So, yeah, George is a big one for me in spring training, and then sometimes out here, it's like when you're signing cards, some people have George's out, and I'm like, I'm not George, but hey, it's a great compliment.
You sign his card?
No, I've never done that. I haven't done that yet, but that'd be pretty funny.
It seems like you guys are all, except for Luis. Well, I don't know, 6'6". How tall are you?
6'5", 6'4".
Yeah, I mean, this is a tall rotation.
Yeah, we got some tall guys for sure.
You smile too much to be George.
Yeah, George, he's a little more serious, isn't he?
he's got a little different intensity going there. Well, Emerson, it's been fun to watch you, man. I feel like every time you step on the mound, we know what we're getting. Like, he's going to give you a chance to win every time you're out there, which is huge in this day and age. So we wish you the best and always appreciate you taking time with us.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
There you go, Emerson Hancock.